House Democrats now poised to issue a blunt ultimatum to Vice President Pence tomorrow, invoke the 25th Amendment to remove President Trump by Wednesday, or they'll make the president the first ever to be impeached twice.
I think every day he's in office, he remains a real and present danger to the country.
Pence, seen late today arriving at the White House, is said to oppose implementing the 25th Amendment. So Democrats today introducing a single article of impeachment accusing President Trump of, quote, inciting violence against the government of the United States. The charge right now reads in part, President Trump gravely endangered the security of the United States and its institutions of government. He therefore betrayed his trust as president.
We have to stand up to this man who incited a violent riot at our nation's capital. It was a massive humiliation to our nation. It had a lot of people die.
Already more than 210 House Democrats back impeachment, but there's no broad support among Republicans. In the Senate, Democrats would need 17 Republicans to join them to convict and remove the president. But so far, only one frequent Trump critic, Ben Sasse, says he would consider impeachment. Two others say President Trump should step down.
Well, I think the best way for our country, Chuck, is for the president to resign and go away as soon as possible.
Many Republicans warn a partisan impeachment would further divide Americans.
The Democrats are going to try to remove the president from office just 7 days before he's set to leave anyway. I do not see how that unifies the country.
President Trump out of sight again today, but in the wake of last week's riots, the PGA announced its canceled plans to hold the 2022 PGA Championship at President Trump's Bedminster, New Jersey Golf Club. First Lady Melania Trump breaking her silence, expressing her condolences to the families of those who died and calling for calm. Our nation must heal in a civil manner, she writes. Violence is never acceptable. A potential Senate trial to remove President Trump would likely happen after he's already gone from office. But President-elect Biden tonight insists it would not interrupt his first 100 days.
Can you go half day on dealing with the impeachment and half day getting my people nominated and confirmed in the Senate? So that's my hope and expectation.
And late tonight, acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf abruptly announced that he is stepping down, but Wolf did not cite last week's riots in his resignation message. Lester.
All right, Peter, thank you. And that leads us to our Capitol Hill correspondent, Casey Hunt. Casey, any indication if Republicans will join Democrats in pushing for impeachment?
Lester, late tonight on a conference call, top House Republican Kevin McCarthy said for the first time that President Trump does bear some responsibility for the Capitol riot and didn't rule out censuring the president. But so far, one Republican congressman has said publicly he's thinking about going further and voting for impeachment. If others join him, that could lead to more support for convicting President Trump in the Senate, where behind the scenes, Republicans are even more furious after new video showed just how much danger they were in.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.